are. We're here with the playoffs. We have got a couple matchups for you tonight.
Kind of exciting for both of them to be here in the final.
He's got to cycle out. Here's the aerial from Cock with a nice touch, and it's under the bar!
Gets it! Nobody home! 33 seconds, and we have a tie game!
It looked like Wolf was rotating back to net, but he never had an opportunity to pick up boost.
Finding a nice angle shot to the Spastics corner there. Nice little disc by Brochu.
Multiple times, but never playing a very strong defensive game right now.
And as the time ticks away, oh no! Wow! Got the reach of a little tap down from Phyrexius to Infinite to give them the lead with 5 seconds remaining.
Oh yes, we are here. It is season 5. We are kicking this off in style. Kudos to everybody for the shouts out on the new intro. As you may or may not have known, we debuted that a couple weeks ago. Decided to go ahead and kick that off for season 5. Very important thing going on tonight. We've got a tentpole event, which is what I like to call anything in the league that kind of draws a crowd. And I see we're already near 100 people into the chat. Checking us out on the view. Totally appreciate it. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. I've got my man, the other ninja, on the line with us. Other ninja, can I get a shout out?
How's it going, RSC? How you doing tonight? Gonna be helping out Nativeology over here. We'll be talking some draft, and we're gonna see who's gonna get the order, who's gonna get that first pick.
For sure. And thank you for joining us for the show tonight. Hopefully everyone is hearing him loud and clear. Give a shout out in the chat if you're hearing him. Good to see some recognizable folks here tonight. I see Dart. I see the Deep State. Another one of our broadcasters. Spark Nova, welcome to the chat. Benji, good to see ya. All right, so what do we got tonight? Tonight we've got the draft, lottery, selection order, whatever you want to call it. This is my first time being a part of this. When I joined the league, I was actually a little late to the team draft order selection, but I've been tuned in to the Wheel of Magic. It is like taking a trip to Vegas. I've been to Vegas a few times, and it's almost exactly the same thing. A big wheel is going to spin, and we're going to determine who gets the first pick within each division. And it's really important the draft order. The higher you get to pick, obviously you get first dibs on any of the talent that you see in the combines, which hopefully some of you are joining us are combine participants. Maybe this is your first time being a part of RSC, but this is definitely one of the, I guess, one of the more important elements of RSC, which is determining the draft order, combing the combines for the talent, and then making the selections, which the selections themselves are a beautiful thing. As a participant in those last season, it was a lot of fun. Anything you'd like to add to that, Ninja?
No, but just for GMs and returning players alike, this is probably the most fun part of the season, just because we get to see all the new people come in. Really excited, to get ready and get into combines. I've been seeing a lot of people scouting other people. It's been nice. All the people I've been scouting. Shout out to my elite and major boys. Been scouting everybody. But yeah, no, you said it. You said it perfectly. This is where a lot of teams are starting to be formed, and we'll see a lot of movement. I believe transactions go live tomorrow, and we'll be seeing a lot of movement there and get things going. Season's almost here, guys.
Absolutely. I tell you, it's an exciting time. I think the hype train to get to the start of the season was just something that was wonderful to experience. I hope everybody's looking forward to it. Apologies for the mic check. I actually hadn't streamed in a couple weeks, so I had to do like a little hurry up here to get some of the stuff even running. The studio goes cold for a couple weeks in the off season, and some of the stuff kind of like gets rusty. Anyways, without further ado, we're gonna start, and something that stood out when going through the number and the data is we've got a new division. We've got the amateur division. I'm not certain what the criteria is for amateur division. Do you happen to know that, other ninja?
I believe it is platinum and below in the ranks. Not too sure about the official seating, but yeah, no, really hyped to get some more of those guys in. And these are the people that we're gonna be seeing later on in our minor, major, elite, and onward. And great place to come in. Y'all came to the right place. Don't doubt yourselves, and yeah, enjoy your first season RSC.
Yeah, definitely. I remember my days in platinum. Uh, it's not that long of a
Hmm.
ride up through the ranks to get to you know where you want to be.
Oh
So
yeah.
let's move forward. Let's go ahead and get to what I call, I guess, the wheels, right? So these are the wheels. Let's head over. All right. So we're going to start with the amateur division. We're going to see if we can pull up this wheel. This is my first time doing this, so please be patient with me as I try to work on what we got going on here. And I think we're just going to kick this off. We got a lot of divisions to go through, so let's just fire it up. Here we go. Let's spin the wheel.
Who's gonna get that first pick?
Oh,
Ooh.
fireflies. Wow. Okay, fireflies from Dart. I have a pretty good relationship with Dart. I participated on one of his teams in the Challenger Division last season. Very good owner.
Yep.
Looking
Yep.
forward to see
Same.
who he picks first. And the
Yep.
fix isn't in, fellas. The fix is not in.
Yep.
There we go. We're going to spin number 2. Who we got? We got the Huns. Snipe. Or as I like to say, Sneepe.
Sneepe with number 2.
We'll keep it cruising. We got the Curiosities.
Ooh.
It may be better to put, the names in, maybe. Let me do that. That might be better. So we had Dart, we had Snipe, and now we've got Wanma. These are all familiar names. If you've been a participant in RSC, these guys keep it cruising. I think we have 8 teams in the amateur division. This is the first time it's kicking off.
Hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this looks come draft night. All right, so with the 4th pick, we've got Garuda Tree Frog. Keeping it cruising. Got the Corgis. Limon. We'll just keep it moving down the line. Oh, wow. Cheese fries. Oh, they're all even split. So that's another thing to talk
Ooh.
about a little bit is the odds for this. I know people are saying the fix is in, but the reality is this is completely random. I would have no idea how to fix this thing. Um, we're down to the last 2. Who's got the last pick? And remember, this is a snake draft, so the whoever picks last is going to pick first in the successive round, just to keep things equal. We got cheese fries with Ignite. And that leaves the last name on the list. We're going to spin the wheel just to make him feel good.
Hopefully it's Adam.
And you know what? He made it.
Oh.
Everybody's a winner here in RSC Amateur Division. And there you have it. We have the draft order for the Amateur Division. We'll go through it again. It's Fireflies, Dart, Huns, Snipe, Curiosities, Wanma, Garuda with the Tree Frog. Oh, Tree Frog, sorry. Sound like a bee thing. We have the Corgis by Limon. We have Ocelots by Travaco, Cheese Fries with Ignite, and the Otters with Adamast. All right, so that's your amateur draft order. Next up, we are going to move to the contender. So just to take a quick look at the contender standings, to give you an idea of what we're looking at, we may have more teams. I'm not sure how many we got new. Looks like we have 12 teams. And keep in mind that the new teams have greater odds. So, yeah. All right, get back to the wheel. Get back to the wheels of enlightenment. We'll switch to the contender wheel. Get rid of all these
Nice. We're
folks.
gonna see who is gonna be taking full command of that first amateur tier win. I know Dart and Snipe especially are probably chomping at the bits trying to be the commanders of those lower tiers there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's definitely a fight for GM of the year. A lot of awards go out. Um, you know, it's nice to see who runs things from top to bottom. Where'd my contender wheel go? Oh, it's popping in. There we are. All right, let's get this going. Here we go. Kick it off. Contender division. Who's got the first pick? Thunder Buddies. All right. He had a bigger chunk there. It was pretty obvious. He had a little higher chance. I'm going to take that's one of the new guys. So we got Thunder Buddies, Crane. Well, no, that name sounds familiar. Well, that's another thing. Some of the new GMs are obviously people are going to be participating in the league. So that's why their names might be familiar.
Oh no, Crane is actually my first GM when I entered the league back in season 2. Shout out to Crane, love you, boy.
All right, we got Snap. It's Mimlo. And I think Mimlo is taking over for the Snaplets. I don't think he was a GM last year. He's a new guy. Mimlo has
Yep,
also joined me on the broadcast, and you may have heard his voice in the intro.
Yeah, he's taking over for Fixin's team. Definitely some
Strix.
powerhouses there.
Tree Frog. All right, we're going to keep it moving. Sea Turtles. Adamast. Looks like it's going to be Locust. Dart. Cheetahs. Travaco. All right. Let's just keep it moving. We got another big chunk there. Looks like Ignite. Marinara. Hellions. All right. Let's keep it moving. So I think we've expanded to 12 teams, or there may have been 12 teams. I'm not certain. Got the Boxers. Limon. The 9th pick. Got the Opportunities. Wanma. We got the Arctic Foxes. Skip. Last but not least, we're going to spin the wheel. Some Mongols with Snipe.
All Snipes sees is 2 picks back to back, so he is licking his chops with that one. He does not mind that at all.
Yeah, in the 12th spot. I mean, that is the benefit of the snake draft. As you come back around on the other side, you get 2 picks back to back. All right, let's kick it off with the contender division. We got the Thunder Bodies with Crane. We got Snappets, Mimlo, Strix, Street Frog, Sea Turtle with Adamast, Locust, Dart, Cheetahs, Travaco, Marinara, Ignite, Hellions, Melted, Boxers, Limon, Opportunities, Wanma, Arctic Foxes, Kip, and we got Mongols with Snipe. You know what? Let me add something here. You know, we're missing something. I feel like we're not really getting the groove here, so I feel like I need to add something. Let me see. What we need like some music or something. That's what we need. Yeah. Let's get it. All right. Let's reset all of this. Let's go and take a look at the next division. We got Prospect. teams here. Clear these names out. See, we had, I don't know if the team names have shifted, but looks like I'm going to the prospect division. I did see the name Marinero earlier. So, any insight into that?
Sometimes with tier changes, they'll keep the name but just send it down or upper tier depending on the season. I've seen it happen a couple times before. But nope, you're right. You got Marinera being top of the Lunar Conference in prospect division.
Yeah, right.
For
Music down to 10, and now we're gonna move over to the prospect wheel, which magically all of these are not loading now. So let's load these on the fly, it seems. All right. Here we are with the prospect wheel. Let's get ready to spin this puppy. So, Ninja, any insight into what these GMs are looking for with these draft picks?
In terms of prospect, this is starting the point where you're starting to get a little bit more build your consistency and starting to build a little bit more team play. It's you're moving out of the C ball hit ball that tends to work out because not a lot of people tend to see the ball. But no, just starting to look for consistency and just starting to look if there's basic building blocks on stuff to build your skill upon to move up.
Okay. Yeah, I think I was one division above this one. So I imagine I was probably teetering between this division and the one above it to start things off. So yeah, I imagine these players are getting a solid foundation of play, looking just to increase consistency and maybe a little more team understanding. I think for me coming into the league, one of my biggest things picking up was just the team aspect of play. As we're going through the picks, we've got Kip with the first pick as the Penguins. We've got Ravens with Treebrog. We've got the Dolphins with Adamast, and then we've got Pickles with Dirk here at number 4. We're going to keep it moving as we get through all these teams. We've got the Spirits with Wanma. New wheel. Unfortunately, these are the wheels we got, guys. I can't bring in a new one. These have been certified by RSC staff. A lot of math goes into this. I've taken a look at some of the advanced data that drives this stuff, and yeah, it's complicated. So I'm just like a trained hamster to click the wheel, get the results. So I apologize if it's not to your liking. Firecrackers. Memo. Compost bins. A bigger chunk there. So as you see, the slice of the wheel pies definitely represents a representation of their performance during the season. And the bigger the slice, obviously, the more challenging season that a team had. The smaller slice, the more success that they had. Looks like we got another Marinara. Maybe the team name hasn't quite been decided yet for Ignite. Got Marinara in the 11th spot. We're going to keep going here as we round out. I think looks like a total of 16 teams. Got the Huskies with Lamont. Big chunk there for the Stargazers. Taking it, that's a new team. A little unlucky there with a later pick. Oh, familiar face. I'm assuming a new GM. Shout out to Mr. Tony Delatorre. We got the Sparks, Crane. We're down to the last two. Who's going to end up with the double pick? And it looks like it's Drizzle Shamu with the double pick. Shamu got a little cameo spot in the intro. If you happen to catch his name, he was one of the all-stars from last season. All right, that ends the prospect division selection. We got the Penguins, Ravens, Dolphins, Pickles, Spirits at 5, Spartans at 6, the Fire Ants, Firecrackers, Compost Bins, Leopards, Marinara, Huskies, Stargazers, Sparks, the Gorgons, and Shamu. All right. Shout out to the chat. I see you guys doing some copy pasta. Good to see you, Reeves. Scrubs, a hammered hamster. Good to see you in the chat. Tony Delatorre. People already talking trades. It's another kind of interesting aspect of RSC and being a GM is that you can trade players, you can trade draft picks. It very much models a professional sports league here in America where players are traded. I know that I had a no trade clause in my contract, and my agent was able to secure that. So be sure and talk to your agents, guys. Make sure you get the right deal. We're going to move on to the next division, which is Challenger. So we're going to take a look at the Challenger standings real quick. I think we got 20, what do we got, 20 teams in here?
28 this season, and I believe it was 24 last season.
Wow, one of the biggest divisions.
Yeah,
Definitely
get into the big boys.
Definitely a little more competitive. From personal experience, I know this is probably like the Diamond 3, Diamond 2, couple people leaking into Champ 1, maybe even Champ 2 by the end of the season. I definitely know a few players hit Champ 2, by the end of the season. And that's some of the progress that you might be able to expect participating in the league. I mean, you're consistently playing with teammates. You can do rank games with your teammates. You can consistently play with just better players. And if you're a member of the Discord, you can certainly get players with you at your level a lot easier than playing with like the random pickup guys that you just find rotating through. But as participant in the Challenger division, I found it a lot of fun. The game's very competitive. I think Kazad Doom walked off the champion there. As you see, they were the division leaders as well and had one of the better records in the league. Back to the wheel we go. Let's see if we can get this thing up. All right. Wow. This thing looks like
Oh boy.
cheesecake. Man, we might have to go through this quick. Woo. A lot of names. 28 teams. Man, this is like an NBA kind of sized league here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 28 for Challenger, Minor, and Major this season.
All right, here we go. 28 teams. Who's got the biggest slices? The Chimps? The Challenger, I guess. Is the name of it? The something pods. All right, so the new team's got the biggest chunks. Here we go. Cougars. Javaco, the first pick.
Dravaco's wish comes true as he gets the first pick.
Chimps with the second pick. Slap. Okay. Let us start. So we see new teams taking 2 of the 3 top spots early on. The odds are there. Retros, Shamu. Revenants with Slurp. Sounds like another new team as well. rushers. Another former All-Star, Treco 50. Get the Pioneers on. Stingrays, Adamast. Isopods, Tony Delatorre. I'm not even certain we've got enough room on our board here for all these teams.
As we're moving down the draft, though, I will let y'all know that it's not always who gets the first pick that ends up winning. All these GMs are great talent scouts, and they have scouts in their own franchise that do a very good job as well. And sometimes it's not always the first round pick. Sometimes second, third, fourth round that ends up being the season MVP. So wherever you're drafted at, don't worry, you're in good hands.
Yeah, I think I've got to agree with you. It is kind of hard to get a good gauge of talent and dedication from a player just from the combines themselves. The more studious GMs will dig a little deeper. Ooh, that one was close. Lunar lizards, and they'll dig a little deeper into your numbers. Are you playing frequently? Are you moving up in rank? Are you moving down in rank? How many games are you putting in a week? And how do you look in the combines? What is this? Explosive corn. Anybody know that reference, or is that just a random name? Killer Bees, my former team, made it to the semifinals. Lost in the playoffs. And I gotta agree with you. Retrospectively, I went and took a look at the players drafted, and who were the top players in the league, where were they drafted, how did people perform. And ultimately, it did seem like later in the first round, there was a lot more consistency with who was kind of at the top. So there are definitely gems to be found later in the draft, and it's certainly not all. People have the first pick and everything's set. I had teammates that were fourth and fifth rounders and were excellent performers. You just never know. So that's Zeps.
Right, never know. And sometimes it's more about not total talent in the team, but it's more about team chemistry. And as you move up in tiers, you start to see that's way more apparent. And I believe we had, maybe not in this season, but I know in past seasons, there's been some scary teams that were not always had players that wowed you, but them as a unit together really was a scary matchup to play against.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. My team, I think we started like maybe 4-19. I'm just making kind of an estimate of where we were at the beginning of the season. And ultimately, as our camaraderie improved, we had a couple roster changes, and by the end of the season, we had won our division, and we're, looking at trying to win this thing before the season was over. So the dynamic of your team can certainly change from beginning to end. And it's a long journey. It is a commitment to play these games. So it's players will improve over time for sure. Those that want to. Apologies for being quiet. My little one is sleeping upstairs. If you are a regular watcher of the RSC, you will know that I recently had a son, and he is gloriously sleeping upstairs. We're trying to keep it on the low.
No worries. Yeah, so I've been able to talk to you. Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks, man. Totally appreciate it. Yeah, I haven't started getting him his reps yet in Rocket League, but we're working on it. We're working on it.
Sounds good. We'll be doing flip resets in no time.
So we got the waste baskets, Blackhawk. Wow, 28 teams. So we're down to the last two. And it comes down. One's got it bigger. So we got the Owls, and we got the Clay. take the 27th pick. 27 picks. Wow. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel for funsies. Gals.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start making the draft a 3-day event, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, you know, at least once we get to those top divisions, maybe we save that last, um, that premier division. We fly in who we suspect are going to be like, you know, the GMs of the year. We just put on a big presentation. That would be great. Sorry you can't see the complete list here of names. I wasn't thinking 28 teams. So let's see if we can fix this. No. Let's lock this. Let's just. Wow. Well, first we got Cougars, Travaco, Chimps, Flat Monkey, Lettuce, Derechos, Revenants, Threshers, Pioneers, Stingrays, Isopods, the Barbarians. That rounds out your top 10. Moving on, we've got the Polar Bears, Breadsticks, Flares, Lunar Lizards, Killer Bees at 15. We've got Wayne Riders, Bulldog, Challenger, 10s and 20 round out your top 20. And then as we move further on, we've got the Leviathans at 21, the Spastics at 22, Shock, Zombies, Rock, Waste Bastards. Well, not the Bastards, but the Baskets. The Clay and the Owls. Wow, monster list. I never said water. I'm sorry. Number 20, water. Dare me. So, congrats, guys. Travaco with the first pick. Enjoy that. We're going to move on to the next division, which do you happen to know if it's larger or smaller?
Next division is minor, and it is the same as well. 2018. Just moving on in this one.
Wow, I should have left my list there. For a quick glance at last season's stats, and I like that, Klein. Thank you for the suggestion. I am going to do that. Looking at last season's stats, what do we got? We got 8, 3, 24 teams, so we're expanded by 4 new owners, 28 selections. Another big one here. So let's try to get through this one ASAP. I like Kind, who I believe was an all-star as well. A lot of all-stars in here. I think there's something going on with that. You know, not only are they smart players, but also smart on the stream to get our draft in order. So let's get this moving here. What can I do? Can I move this over here? Boom. I kind of like that. Where's it? What about the logo? Oh, we gotta get the logo right, guys. It's whoa, earthquake. My goodness. All right. Here we go. So we're at 28. We got room. Kind. Thank you very much. Let's keep this puppy moving. So we're on a minor. 28 teams. Whew. Man. Green screen. What do you mean? There's no green screen. I'm sitting in DFH Stadium, guys.
Yes, we are literally in the stadium. I'm just the one that's filming, so I'm behind the camera.
Yeah, don't you see the fireworks and stuff? That stuff isn't. This is a live action shot, guys. All right. Whew, my goodness. All right, where are we at? We're at minor, so we're 4 divisions down. I think we've got 4 to go. Is that 8 divisions now? I mean, I heard rumors of a Euro League.
Oh yeah.
Going Europe.
That'll be really nice. And we've definitely had, as long as I've been here, we've always had plenty of support. People coming in asking for doing this in Europe, and hopefully we'll be able to get that started. That'll be really nice. Great scene over there.
Yeah, I tell you what, if it grows to anything to the size of what RSC presently is here in the States, the opportunities for like a true world championship, I mean, that's, wow. Definitely.
That'll be really nice.
That would be pretty sweet. So, all right, let's get this moving. We're starting off minor division draft order. Here we go. We got Space Wine with explosive corn, which anybody explain what that reference was? I didn't get that one. Just a cool name.
It is a cool name.
we go. We got the Phantom Slurp. Blizzards. Shim. Let's keep it moving. We're on to the fourth pick. Urux. Anybody know that reference? I'm getting lost in these team name references. I do know what an orangutan is, though.
There we go.
Splat Monkey. Fitting name for fitting GM. Hammerheads. Treco 50. Draconis. Melton. Trash bags, Blackhawk. Yeah, I will say it does feel a little Wheel of Fortune-ish. But I am not Vanna White, nor Pat Sajak. Might be a little past some of you guys' time.
Oh, that is vintage. That is the true Wheel of Fortune.
Wings, Ignite. Deep State. Appreciate the bits, man. It's a solid block of bits there. Gotta love it. Still put you in third place on the overall board. Just saying. Bangtoos. Tony Della Torre. Now, which division did you play in, Ninja?
In last season I played in the elite tier, and I played on a couple teams, but ended up on the Hornets in the Blaze division for Darts franchise.
Oh, okay.
Yep, was a fun season like always. Always have fun here in RSC.
Halo, thank you for the bits. One of my teammates coming through with the support. So you said you played on more than one team, Ninja, is that correct?
Yep. I started off on Rosie's franchise as part of the Pog Champs, and then ended up finishing on the Hornets. It was a fun time indeed, and staying in Elite this season, and so can't wait to get things started.
So what led to the mid-season changes? Because there's a lot of dynamics that go to a team. My team certainly had quite a bit of turnover. We had 50% turnover, I guess, if you look at it that way, from the beginning of the season to the end. What for you as a player who was on the move? I stayed with my franchise the entirety of the season. Like for someone that was on the move, what was that experience like? Could you outline a little bit? What happened?
Oh yeah.
What went down? Did you get traded? Did you demand something with your agent?
Yeah, I talked to my agent, took my talents to South Beach. Nah, no, just just a little bit of team differences. That always happens. Just so you sometimes don't always gel with the people that you play with, but you give it your all, and you trust in what your GM and everybody do in the draft, and just sometimes doesn't work out. So I was put on a free agent, and I was actually working on some other projects with Rocket League at the time. So, but the Swarm called, and they wanted me to sub in for one of their players, and just ended up staying on the team the whole season. It was a fun time.
Nice, man. Yeah, I know. Dart definitely digging, in the weeds looking for any sign of talent. And if he scooped you up, then you definitely saw something that was going to help out the squad as a fellow member of the Swarm. All right, we're just moving through the picks here, getting them in as quickly as we can. I'll speak to the opposite of what you were talking to, Ninja, which was, I stayed on the same team for the entirety of my season. And, the mesh thing is definitely a part of it. It is hard to mesh with people. You do have to be a team player. I think that's something that maybe some players might miss, and some are a little better at it than others. But, as coming from someone who played team sports IRL, you definitely learn, how to deal with different personalities.
Yep.
And but in the end, I enjoyed playing with everyone that we had on our team throughout the season. And overall, I think Dart made some solid moves. Some players just kind of fell by the wayside, through attendance and whatnot. I mean, that happens as well. And we were able to turn our season around.
Nice.
Which was nice.
That's always awesome.
Wow, we just made it through the minor division, guys.
Minor division.
Man, 28 picks. We're going to go ahead and go through them. We got Space Wine with the first pick. Explosive Corn, Phantoms, Blizzards, the Urex, the Orangutans, Splat Monkey. For the fifth pick, we've got Hammerheads at 6, Draconis at 7, Trash Bags, Ospreys, Wings at the 10 spot. Hey guys, I promise it's not rigged. I wouldn't even know how to rig this stuff. The math is too complicated. I mean, it's literally like 9 digits deep, decimal places deep, and it's very complicated stuff. I don't know. You want to round out the rest of them? Ninja, I think we're on 10 with the Wings. You can go ahead and round up the
Number
rest of
10?
them.
All
Yeah.
right. We got the Fangtus. We got Carrots, Wasps, Flailers for Wheelchair, Discovery, Griffins, Fire, Swordfish at the 18th. 19, we got Labradors. Then the Voyagers, Mimics. We got TDM for spot 22. We got the Jacks, Jaguars, Vikings, Dynamite, last season's champs, the Surge, and then finishing off with the Dire Wolves.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. If you don't mind, maybe the rest of the way out, you pick up the names. I'll leave them up.
Yeah.
What that does is it buys me a
Sounds
little
good.
time to kind of reset everything.
It sounds good. I got you.
It's probably another one of Kakai's suggestions. I missed it in the chat. We're going to move on to the next division, which is Major.
Major division.
Now, do we know what the ranks are for Major?
I believe they're around. Looking at the people that are in the major division this season, it looks to be like around low champ 3 to low champ 2 ish. Yes, C2 to C3 is what I am getting. So yeah, should be some fun matches indeed.
Wow. And do we have a team count here? Was this an increase as well? I mean, I feel like we've been increasing across the board.
It'll be 28. Yeah, 28 will be
another.
the most that we'll have, and yeah, they'll be in major, minor, and challenger.
Wow. That's
yeah.
clearly the meat and potatoes
Mm-hmm.
of RSC. That's where the majority of the players are. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. All right, without further ado, we're just going to get this party started. Well, at least I was going to try. Let's see what goes. Let's interact with this puppy. Here we go. We're firing it off. Who's got the first pick?
Who's got it?
Celery Dirk. You have any insight for some of these new GMs? Are these all guys who previously participated before, or?
I believe yes. Yeah, all of them have participated before in RSC, and yep, it is fun on the other side. Getting to scout everybody, pick your people, and really take a hold of what it means to be an RSC GM. But I've been personally scouting a few of the major combines, and there's some good talent across the board. So these GMs definitely have their pick of the litter, and definitely some diamonds in the rough so to speak. So this will be a competitive division for sure.
Wow. And I guess, we were speaking to being a participant and then becoming a GM. I mean, that's kind of a prerequisite for becoming a GM, right? I mean, you really need to kind of understand how the league works. I feel like it would be hard to come in and be someone completely new to the RSC ecosystem and try to run multiple franchises.
Definitely. Yeah, you kind of want to at least have like a taste of how the community is, how game days work out and everything. And because you want to be a leader essentially for all these new people coming in, you want to be helping guide them along the season and dealing with, the winnings of the season, dealing with the losses of the season. There's a lot of stuff that goes into being a GM, and the great ones that we have, it definitely shows. And I think looking down the list right now, we have plenty of good people, and can't wait to see how these new GMs fit in with the squad.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Yeah, I myself definitely had some interest in managing a team, but realized the task at hand is quite large, mixed in with wanting to participate in playing matches and streaming, of course.
Yep, yeah.
Which I did not expect to be doing. But very grateful for the opportunity to do that for RSC, bring a little something to the table, and help out the league. And that's pretty much going to be taking most of my time. I'm not going to be participating in the league this season as a player. Obviously, I don't get the time that it takes, that's required to be dedicated to your team. As you know, the schedule is typically matches are Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yep.
And I think you can expect to, play with a teammate, particularly early in the season, be on with your teammates a little early, a little later in the week, perhaps a weekend.
Oh yeah.
So you're really looking at multiple days a week, playing with your team and being online. Pretty big commitment.
Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, it takes more than just playing on the actual game days and on the game times, because you want to get acquainted with the people that you're teamed up with, and it's really that team chemistry, the little nuances you learn about your teammates, start to figure each other out and let people know, and you'll be able to just play seamlessly where you're hitting a ball in a certain direction and your teammate is already there because you all have that chemistry buildup from just consistency of playing.
Yeah, for sure. That time spent, you definitely begin to learn the tendencies and mesh with your teammates. And it's a pretty good feeling, and it definitely changed my game going into like public matches, rank play. Just a little bit, kind of seeing the role responsibility a little clearer, and then kind of adjusting in those matches based on what you're seeing from other players. So it can help your game go up as well. I think when I came into the league, I worked very hard before the draft and got to champ, like barely clipping it for the Challenger division. And then by the end of the league, I had gotten up to champ 2 on several occasions. And as you know, you typically fluctuate around, go up and down. But I would say that the league certainly helped my play from a team perspective, and then from an individual perspective, just getting more technical and playing more.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's exactly what RSC is about, just helping build and grow the community and providing a different outlet for people to join in. People love this game, Rocket League, and sometimes it gets a little bit, I wouldn't say boring, but just kind of like little monotonous, just playing ranked and getting your rank, improving your rank. But this gives you a nice place to show up against other teams and see how you compete and establish like a team dynamic, which brings just a whole nother side of Rocket League that makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah, that's a real good point. The game had gotten a little stagnant for me. I think RSC injected an entire new life of Rocket League for me.
Oh yeah.
I can only play so much playing with my friends. Our schedules only link up, as they can as you become adults in the world with work and job and whatnot. And hopping into RSC, hopping into the Discord for the first time and seeing, um, the amount of players and being able to just do trades or, find random people to play with. Um, Great stuff from RSC. So, all right, feel free to recap the draft order.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely,
clear
definitely.
out.
All right, so with the first pick, we got Celery. Moving on, we got Precipitate 4. I was like, okay. Chicken Parm, Makos, the Anglers, rounding out the top 5. Next, we got the Apollos, Hawks, Killer Whales, the Rockets, and Lightning finishing out top 10. Moving on, we got Lunar Hens, Thunder Eagles, the Monsoons, the Yellow Jackets, Trash Cans. We got the Black Riders, Banshees, Tigers, Quads, got the Hydras, Wind. We got Gorillas, Endeavor, got the Pointers, the Leeches, I believe, Mastodons, and Queens. And then finishing out, we got Sneepe's team, the Gladiators.
All right, much appreciated. We're going to reset this. We're moving up from Major to Elite. We're down to the last 2 divisions. Any insight into the growth of Elite and Major? Did we grow there from an RSC overall perspective?
I believe in Elite we moved up to 24 teams. I believe it was only 16 last season, if I remember correctly. But no, just constantly growing, and that's really nice because when I came in season 2, it was a little bit, it was still heavy like at the major minor division. But we're starting to see a lot more teams and a lot more players move up to these top divisions, and that's great to see because that means people are improving and staying with RSC, and definitely, it's showing as we see all these people, hitting GC even. So it's been good.
Yeah, great point. With the growth, people sticking around from one season to the next and then moving up. I don't have the final numbers on that, but I definitely saw, the growth from the new players signing up. We broke like a record for the total number of signups coming into the league, which broke last year's record of 400 and change. We hit 500 and change coming into this season, so it's great to see the growth.
Definitely. And finally, for the first time tonight, I believe we finally have the new teams that are getting the top picks coming out here. So that's really good to see. Y'all can't say rigged anymore.
Hey, the numbers are the numbers. You can't fight with the numbers. They are what they are.
Yeah, no, Ben. I know I've seen the chat.
Yeah,
yeah, I've been doing a lot of scouting in the Elite division, and I've been seeing a lot of good talent across the board. So really excited to see how the draft plays out, and it's being in the Elite division, I'm excited, but being a competitor in the Elite division, I'm also like, come on, like there is nothing easy in this division. Every series is going to be a fight, and I can't wait to get this going. And gonna try and get that championship this season.
Nice. So you've had the opportunity to scout for your franchise. Beyond, I know we tackled like, hey, what do you look for from a play perspective, but do you look for anything from the communication perspective? When I streamed the combine a couple weeks ago, like one of the things we did was we just hopped into some random chat channels with the combine folks just to hear what was going on. Do you look for anything from the communication perspective?
A little bit more more so of just like the attitude that they bring into the community, because that tells a lot of how a person is, inside Rocket League and outside Rocket League, and that is always a good tipping point to who wants to improve. Not coming in and saying, "Oh, I'm the best in this tier. You're gonna want me." That kind of always tends to shy away some of the GMs because they're not the ones who really want to learn. But no, I mean, it mainly is play style, but definitely other factors come into play as well, outside of your talent.
Now, do you know the process for a like a player who's been in the league for a season, and let's say they move up a division? Like, do they go back into the combine, or can the GM keep them and keep them at the division up? Like, do you have any insight into how that works?
Oh yeah, no. If the GM has a team in that division, then yes, they stay a keeper because when you do get drafted, you do quote sign with your agent a 2-season contract with that franchise, and then so yeah, in between seasons, if you do move up or if you happen to move down, um, yeah, more than welcome to, as long as that team has a team in that division, and if not, then yep, you go right back into the free agent pool and get drafted again.
Yeah, I did not know the process as a returning player, which we do. But thanks for the update on the title. We are at the elite. I don't know why I went down to major. We're trying to do this on the fly, folks. This is all real time. You know, the big boss was proposing that we, pre-record this. We wanted to come live. We wanted to bring this to you as it occurs.
Definitely seeing some good things shape out already in Elite, so excited to get things going. Who's gonna get that last pick?
I think I saw it as Shamu.
Ooh, and it is the winners of the Elite division last year, the Tempest.
So the Tempest won the division and get the last pick. That's about what you would expect. That's what you'd kind of hope for from a balance perspective. But if players aren't, if GMs aren't keeping their players, in the same way that it happens in professional sports, then really, the weight of the draft order being determined by, results is kind of, not exactly like professional sports, right? Like, if you win the championship in, say basketball, like you're not even included in the lottery. Like you're just placed as the last pick. The teams that don't make the playoffs ultimately get the lottery. There's a lot of complexity to that. I think executing that across the board, 8 divisions can be a little challenging. So I can see why it's a little different. But I could also see, like Shamu in the Tempest, maybe the roster of that team doesn't even stay the same, right? Everyone leaves, everyone moves up. Obviously, they won a championship, so it's not like he's keeping the talent all the time that he's got. Maybe it moves up a division, and then he doesn't have those guys anymore. I don't know if that's how that works at Elite, but I could definitely see that in maybe some of the lower divisions challenge.
Definitely,
people move up. So.
Actually, I think all of that team moved up to Elite to Premier this season.
So there you go. Shamu's got his work cut out for him, right? He's going to have to pick another winning team for the 24 spot as a victim of his own success. So kind of an interesting facet to RSC draft order. But I think, with some of the complaints in the chat with it being rigged, you got to understand that the odds, it's not like the NBA where if you have the worst record, like you've got a ton of opportunities to be the first pick. The reality is you have a slightly greater chance. And the new teams have even a bigger, slightly greater chance. So.
Yep. Sounds good. Want me to read off the teams?
Yeah, go ahead and recap the Elite Division, and then we're on to the Premier.
All right. First pick, we got Earth with Dare Me. Because we got Wraiths, Great Apes, Terrasks, Galactic Geese, Enterprise, Lion, and then Precipitate 4. We got Missiles, and then Gelato rounding out the top 10. We got Falcons, the Megalodons, Phoenix, Chairs, Sabretooth, and Sharks. And we got the Dumpsters, Cerberi, Bolts, Knights, Kings, I believe is the Balrogs. Yeah, Balrogs, okay. And the Hornets, and then finishing out the 24 is the Tempest.
Yeah, I think a Balrog was like a fire monster in Lord of the Rings. So we got like a Lord of the Rings reference in there, I think.
Nice.
I could
like
be
it. I
completely
like
wrong. It could have been a fighter from Street Fighter too, but I don't remember.
it.
I doubt it. I doubt that would have been it. But all right, so we finished up the Elite Division. We are now moving on to Premier, our final division, where we're going to find out the last team order. Let's just hop right to it. We're going to hop to the Premier wheel. And how are we looking for a team count in Premier? I think it was originally one of the smaller divisions.
Oh yeah. Yep. Only 10 teams in Premier this season. Still a step up from the 8, I believe it was, from last season.
And what do we? What are the ranks? I mean, obviously it's Grand Champ, but I assume Elite's got some Grand Champs in it too, right? So this is like.
Oh yeah. This is.
More elite.
I
More
think it's
Premier.
officially called Uber Grand Champ. But no, it's we definitely have a. I know we have a max MMR, but yeah, I don't know too much about that. But yeah, it is basically all Grand Champ, with Elite being lower Grand Champ and mid Champ 3. But yeah, this is where the big boys come to play.
All right. Well, let's get this draft started. Looks like we got a few new teams here. Maybe 2, right? 2 new teams. So we went from 8 to 10.
Yep. And actually, I was misspoken there. Premier had 12, and so even just made it a little bit more exclusive with 10 teams this season.
Okay. Yeah, you got to figure these are the guys who are really putting in the hours, taking their game to the next level. You know, I don't know the differences between like the jumps to where you're like competing, maybe on the like semi-pro circuit. I don't know if any of these guys are on that border or not.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing a few of them competing in tournaments and whatnot. I'm pretty in tune with the tournament side of Rocket League as well, so been keeping tabs of a lot of these people, and definitely some great players in this tier.
That's great to hear. You know, as someone in a lower tier, like I don't really know the difference, you know, at that level. I mean, obviously I know people are very good and better than myself, but like, you know, I think there's frequently this like misconception that, oh, if you're Grand Champ, like, you know, you're obviously, you know, you're like close to being, you know, super
Right,
elite,
yeah.
But the
Yeah,
truth is
you're
there's-
Grand Champ. Yeah, you're Grand Champ. KDOP is Grand Champ, so y'all must be the same.
Yeah.
But no, there is a whole big gap between, you know, 1500 Grand Champ and then the top of Grand Champ that these pros are in. So it improves, I would say, probably about like every 100 so of MMR is a jump in the Grand Champ tier. And it's just tremendous to see how much these players improve as you move up those little tiers in one specific rank.
So I gotta ask, where are you at in the ranks right now in your 3 rank play?
In 3s right now, I've been bouncing around between GC and Champ 3. I got my GC rewards this season, so you know, I've just kind of been relaxing on ranked so far.
Very nice, man. Yeah, I myself have been dancing around Champ 1
Nice.
most of the time since the season's ended. I figure it's a lull in the competition. Figure I'd focus a little bit on streaming and maybe helping out RSC from that perspective.
Appreciate it.
Versus with my play on the field. All right.
Good, all good.
So we've done the Premier Division, and we'll go ahead and let you wrap this one up.
All right. First pick, it is the Wheels with Wheelchair. Moving on, we got the Orokai with Melted. Then we got Chargers with Crane. Quasars for Zeph's franchise. And then moving on, we got Demons for Slurp. And Garbage Trucks for Blackhawk. Hurricanes for Shamu. Oathbreakers for Neb. Aces for Diablo. And Nukes for Memlo, rounding out the top 10.
All right. There you have it, folks. That is your draft selection show. We made it through the 8 divisions. As you know, RSC is expanded again for another season, and all of these GMs will be looking forward to the draft. All the players out there in the combines, be sure to be out there to impress. You definitely want to get drafted. That's definitely the first step to getting on a team. Otherwise, you have to battle your way through free agency or making an impression some other way. So take those opportunities and make an impression, get drafted.
Yep.
Thanks to everybody in the chat tonight. Thank you for the bits, everyone that donated. Burrito Man topped out the bit donation leaderboard with a hundo. Gotta appreciate it. D-State and that guy _ from ... I can't read it, but thank you for the bits, and thanks everyone else in the chat, and thank you Ninja for helping out.
No problem. My pleasure. Just want to say shout out to everybody in RSC who tuned in. Thank you so much, and thank you Nativeology for putting on the stream week in, week out last season, and continuing to do that for us this season. Up the production quality tenfold at least, and so you've been doing an amazing job. I appreciate it, and we all appreciate it here.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the kind words, and I'm really looking forward to season 5. I mean, this is just the kickoff event. But we got the draft. The draft was a beautiful thing last season. And then once those matches start, man, it's week in and week out. It is definitely a fun time. So I hope everyone is looking forward to that. And thank you again. And thanks, guys. We're going to hit you with the intro as the outro, so you get one more glimpse at the new intro for season 5. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you at the next stream. Here we are. We're here with the playoffs. We have got a couple matchups for you tonight.
Kind of exciting for both of them to be here in the finals.
Got to cycle out. Here's the aerial from Soccar with a nice touch, and it's under the bar!
Distance, nobody home, 33 seconds, and we have a tie game!
It looked like Wolf was rotating back to net, but he never had an opportunity to pick up boost.
Finding a nice angle shot for the Spastics quarter there. Nice little disc by Brochu. Multiple times, but never playing a very strong defensive game right now. And as the time ticks away, oh no! Wow! Got the reach of a little tap down from Phyrexius to Infinite to give them the lead with 5 seconds remaining.